You know, it's not that I like to be happy over someone's misfortune, but I'll tell you, the other day, and this is an update with that Susan Donahoe and that goddamn motorhome, you know, when I went down there, walking down there, you know, God, all of a sudden I'm told to go take this walk, and I went down that way, you know, and I got down there and I witnessed the guy that was out there looking at Susan Donahoe's motorhome, okay, and all of a sudden her motorhome starts, and her motorhome starts moving backwards, and I'm sitting, oh, I hate that, you know, and all of a sudden that thing was fucking shut off. That thing, I don't know whether there's no gas in it or what, but it was like God just rendered that truck useless, that fucking motorhome of Susan Donahoe's. And her boyfriend's truck and stuff's all gone out of there, which is nice. The only thing that's down there is that motorhome. And the city of Camas should haul that motorhome off immediately. It's down there, it's been down there, it's abandoned. You know, hey, I know you know who the little bitch is that owns that goddamn motorhome, right, officers in Camas? You know, you should know that John and Susan actually lived at that house up there at 1007th Street that had satanic activities in it, that has a burnt spot in the middle of the floor. You know, so much shit goddamn happened. I'm just trying to be nice. I am. I'm trying to let Camas take care of it. And also, I know that Satan will come in and enlist a lot of, hey, if Satan can do this, he can do this to people. My brother Jim went like this with the 30-30 and shot Terry Shortridge right in front of me. And he says, I just killed my best friend, which I don't know. I mean, he threw the gun down on the fucking floor. I jumped up and ran between the two of them. And I looked at Terry's face, and I seen that hole in Terry's face. I see that hole right now. You know? Terry Lance Shortridge. You know, Lance is the code name to John F. Kennedy. You know? This is all biblical. And it's just like, hey, the murder cases, the alphabet murder cases, those are still the Zodiac. Susan Donahoe's a Zodiac lover. And by the way, there's nothing, you know, Satan doesn't fucking want you to fucking worship him like that. You know, Satan wants you to love him for what the love part. You know, I know him. I know George. I know, you know, he had to do things that he didn't want to do. You know, it's just like he told me, John, you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do. This money for this bowling alley was stolen. My dad told me everything. He says, you're going to find pictures of me in California. My dad did not want to tell me that he was a fucking murdering criminal. But he sure in the fuck was. George L. Wright, Morton Washington was a Zodiac. George L. Wright was D.B. Cooper. And the sheriffs did have everything to do with it. You know, as far as I know, if you don't pay your bills, you're going to have problems. You know, and you're going to have fucking problems. So don't be on dope. Pay your fucking bills and stuff like that. And then if you have a little bit extra, I guess you could buy some dope. Or buy some pot. You know, I say when you want to get off pot, when you want to get off dope, you step back to marijuana. Why? Because you're usually going to have to trade one thing off for another thing to step back from it. And by the way, nobody wants to be punished by being cut off just like an alcoholic saying you can't drink no goddamn more. Because that's not what he wants to hear. Here, I'm going to taper back. I'm not going to drink whiskey and hard alcohol. I'm just going to drink beer. At first they moved back to beer a little bit. I know hardcore alcohol And Denise Johnson, goddamn, knows that. And her ex-husband was a psychologist for the St. Peter's Hospital. And I dealt with both of those, and I got to analyze these people too, by the way. And I just want you to know, God can render, I could look at something and I could render it fucking useless. Just like the guy that was here that started doing something one day, and all of a sudden he stopped fucking wanting to throw down, fucking fight or so. I walked right out there in the street. He ran back to his truck. He fucking, all of a sudden the rear end starts going clang, 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 clang. You know, the rear end's going out in it now. The guy had more fucking problems than what he was fucking mouthing off to me. And anyway, that Susan Jane Donahoe, her fucking motorhome was rendered fucking useless there. And it's still in the exact spot, and they had to get the fuck out of there. Now, you know, maybe the city of Camas should move in and get that goddamn motorhome out of there. It shouldn't have been there to begin with to cause this. There you go. City of Camas, it's your golden opportunity to get rid of that goddamn crap hole. Talk to you later. Bye.